are fake, everything's fake. It's weird. And so it's like, this is the clearest like fixed fight you're ever gonna see. Look at this. That looks so fake.
What just happened?
He hit him with a left.
I know.
But watch it again. Let's watch
but-
it again. Look at this guy holding his hands up and watch. Look at this. He like literally shows him his chin
and just goes like,
and he goes down. It's also nuts, right? Just the fact that he's willing to fight the two-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
A guy who's gigantic in his prime, built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And you're gonna stand, and he's a one-punch killer, and you're gonna stand in front of that guy, and he avoided shots till the 6th round. He just started getting tired.
Well, when you're on a platform like Netflix that turns one-part episodes into a 6-part series, why would you think that part of their entertainment model is to have a 30-second fight? Why?
The internet is buzzing after a jaw-dropping claim surfaced during the latest Joe Rogan podcast regarding the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight. If this is true, it would change absolutely everything. According to explosive remarks now circulating online, Joshua allegedly revealed that Jake Paul tried to bribe him ahead of the fight with one shocking request. This conversation has fans questioning the legitimacy of influencer boxing once again. Joshua's comments have reignited accusations that some of Jake Paul's biggest fights are more business deals than genuine battles, leaving the combat sports world with an uncomfortable question: was it ever real to begin with?
Was it ever real to begin with?
What I could have done better is a lot of things, 100%. In the fight game, you've seen the amazing fighters that have graced us over the last 100 years, and the expectations that we put on ourselves are immense, but I tried my best. Jake done well while it lasted, but if you remember what I said in the interview with Cameron is, fighting's not just physical, it's psychological. And when you understand the psychological warfare, I did say to you that, Jake, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna see a time when I'm gonna take your soul and you're either gonna give up or you're gonna get knocked out. And unless you have that instinct, you just will never be a good fighter. So I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit.
While Rogan stopped short of making direct accusations, he
openly questioned the realism of the matchup, pointing out the massive gap in experience, power, and ring IQ between a former heavyweight champion and a YouTuber turned boxer. Rogan suggested that if Joshua had gone in with full intent to finish the fight, it likely wouldn't have lasted long at all. He also highlighted how modern combat sports are increasingly influenced by entertainment platforms and massive paydays, where stretching a fight can be more valuable than ending it quickly for the sake of spectacle. He noted people compared it to the Nate Robinson fight, thinking he was just an athlete from another sport.
He knocked Nate Robinson
He knocked him the
dead.
fuck out,
And
yeah.
it's the way he did it that I was trying to tell people. I'm like, no. That was skillful. So like there's like boxing matches where you see two guys just slugging it out. One guy lands a punch, and yeah, he landed a good punch. What Jake did is he slid back and landed a punch.
Yeah.
It's like the athleticism along with the intelligence, the technique. I'm like, he's not even doing it that long. And he's also hyper competitive, even though he's wealthy.
Yeah.
You know, like you would assume that wealth would take away your drive for
But
competition.
it hasn't, yeah.
He's also nuts, right? Just the fact that he's willing to fight the two-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
A guy who's gigantic in his prime, built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And you're gonna stand, and he's a one-punch killer, and you're gonna stand in front of that guy, and he avoided shots till the 6th round. He just started getting tired.
Simon Jordan added even more fuel to the controversy by claiming that Anthony Joshua
by claiming that Anthony Joshua could have knocked out Jake Paul at any moment, but deliberately chose not to. According to Jordan, the fight had to be stretched out to satisfy Netflix's expectations, not boxing's. He suggested that Joshua's power, experience, and timing were so far beyond Paul's level that a quick finish would have ruined the spectacle and the streaming numbers. Instead, the bout allegedly needed rounds, drama, and tension to justify the massive platform and global audience. While Jordan offered no proof, his comments echoed what many fans already believe. When big money and streaming giants like Netflix are involved, entertainment value can quietly take priority over competitive reality, leaving viewers questioning how real the fight truly was.
The fight truly was.
Jake Paul posted on Twitter after the fight, jaw broken, heart and balls intact. That's a good thing. Time to rest, recover, and return to cruiserweight. I mean, he's coming out of it as if, well, yeah, I got battered in the end, but boy.
That's what he will do. I mean, it depends what you think this was. I mean, I never felt it was anything other than entertainment. I'm not surprised that it, I mean, Anthony Joshua could have knocked Jake Paul out anytime he wanted to. He didn't want to.
So why didn't he?
Because, well, when you're on a platform like Netflix that turns one-part episodes into a 6-part series, why would you think that part of their entertainment model is to have a 30-second fight? Why? You watch a Netflix series, you can watch it and you can go, well, I get the gist of it. Why have you got to turn it into 10 episodes? Because I'm dying with boredom after episode.
Are you telling me that Netflix probably emphasized, listen guys, take this as long as you can?
Chael Sonnen didn't mince words when reacting to the fight. He flatly said, this was not boxing. According to Sonnen,
take this as long as you can. Chael Sonnen didn't mince words when reacting to the fight. He flatly said this was not boxing. According to Sonnen, what fans witnessed had all the visuals of a boxing match, but none of the substance that defines the sport. He argued that real boxing is about danger, urgency, and the constant threat of a fight-ending mistake, none of which were present here. Sonnen suggested the pacing, restraint, and overall tone felt more like a produced exhibition than a genuine contest. While he stopped short of accusing anyone of fixing outcomes, his message was clear. When elite fighters appear capable of ending a bout at will but don't, the result stops being competition and starts being entertainment.
That was not a boxing match. Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this contest. And then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. He was fighting. He's got to go forward. So now he's clinched him. Now he's dropping down to his knees. He's going below the waist. He's getting a double leg position. Jake was fighting for his survival. You could see that this animal who's been caged and is just trying to make it through. It was incredible. And any boxer that wants to say, well, that wasn't high-level boxing, go ahead. I won't argue with you. But any human that says that wasn't a fight.
Yeah, it was a fight after the fight. Anthony Joshua was honest and reflective about his performance, saying that while he got the job done with a 6th-round knockout, he didn't feel it was his best showing and believed he could have done much better. Joshua admitted he needed to improve because he struggled early to land clean shots and couldn't corner Jake Paul as quickly as many had expected, calling it a win but not a total success, and emphasizing that he still has a lot of improvement ahead of him.
I'm going to see a time when I'm going to take your soul and you're either going to give up or you're going to get knocked out. And unless you have that instinct, you just will never be a good fighter. So I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit. He has some heart. He tried his best. And I take my hat off to him because, number one, a lot of fighters haven't got in the ring with me, and Jake did. And secondly, even when he got knocked down, he kept on trying to get up. And I take my hat off to him. So America, I think you have someone who could potentially, if he still has the heart for it, come back again, dust the dirt off his shoulder, and come again and maybe sell out this center.
Despite the knockout, immediately
after his high-profile fight with Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul wasted no time turning the spotlight to his next challenge, calling out former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. In a post-fight interview, Paul emphasized that he's ready to test himself against the most dangerous opponents in combat sports, signaling a clear move from influencer boxing toward mixed martial arts crossover hype. The call-out wasn't just bravado, it was calculated, leveraging the massive attention from the Joshua bout to position himself as a legitimate threat to one of MMA's most feared power punchers. Fans reacted with a mix of excitement and skepticism, questioning whether Paul could handle Ngannou's striking and wrestling pedigree. But from Paul's perspective, the fight represents another chance to dominate headlines, sell pay-per-views, and push his brand further into mainstream combat sports, continuing his pattern of high-risk, high-reward matchups.
blur the line between spectacle and sport.
I can't really fucking talk. Are you in pain?
Yeah.
In awe of the fact that you do what you do.
I mean, it's not that hard to get your ass beat. I won 2 rounds and then I got dropped. But it was a great experience. Like, I learned a lot in there. But I had him wobbled at one point.
He hit you in the face, and not only did you not get knocked out, you dropped and said, wow.
Wow, that was nice. I was on the ground. I was like, that was a good shot.
Did he surprise you with his power?
He surprised my jaw. It's literally snapped.
What,
It's like a baseball in there. But yeah, I mean, I told everyone, though, that I would do better than Francis and that Francis kind of got no chin.
So
Francis low-key soft. I think maybe now he'll take it.
Well, he has something to prove.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder didn't hold back when reacting to the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul matchup, calling it one of...
Well, he clearly has something to prove. Deontay Wilder didn't hold back when reacting to the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul matchup, calling it one of the most bizarre spectacles in modern boxing history. Wilder expressed disbelief that a former heavyweight champion like Joshua would step into the ring with a social media influencer, questioning both the competitive legitimacy and the motivation behind the fight. While he acknowledged the entertainment value and the massive financial stakes, Wilder made it clear that from a professional boxing standpoint, the matchup felt unnatural, highlighting the enormous gap in skill, experience, and power between the two fighters. He also hinted that Joshua's strategy may have been influenced by factors beyond sport, such as media exposure and streaming platforms, rather than pure competition.
You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because, you know, of the weight difference, and, you know, Joshua is a former, you know, champion. And also, you know, he's current, he's active. You know, I mean, this is going to be the first time that we see Paul, you know, fighting an active fighter. You know, I mean, we seen the Mike Tyson. That was all fun. That was cute. You know what I'm saying? It's fun and games and stuff. But now you're dealing with a real professional. You know, and so we'll see how it ends up. You know, like I said, I think it's scripted, but you know, we're gonna see. At the end of the day, I just want everybody to have fun. I want them to enjoy themselves because we risk our lives for others' entertainment, and just go home safely to be able to have memories and say we did a great job.
Thank you. Let's get a bomb squad to end.
Bomb squad!
Brendan Schaub didn't hold back after the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight, openly
Thank you. Let's get a bomb squad to win. Brendan Schaub didn't hold back after the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight, openly suggesting that the bout felt fake. Schaub, known for his candid takes on combat sports, argued that the pacing, Joshua's apparent restraint, and the overall flow of the fight raised serious questions about how real it actually was. He noted that at any point a fighter of Joshua's caliber could have ended the fight decisively, but instead, the action seemed carefully measured, almost like it was designed for entertainment rather than torture. Schaub also highlighted the influence of pay-per-view platforms, streaming deals, and media narratives, suggesting that financial incentives have taken priority over sporting integrity. While he didn't claim there was an official fix, his comments echoed what many fans were thinking, that the fight felt choreographed to maximize drama, tension, and spectacle, rather than being a true contest.
That Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight, huh? I don't know what to say, man. I haven't seen the reaction online. Something's up, yeah? Anthony Joshua didn't throw a single straight right hand for 6 rounds. He didn't cut off the ring. I'm trying to make sense of it. It's tough to pin a guy down when he's on his bike and Jake was moving so much. I'm trying to be cool. It was weird, right? Something's up. Even the knockdown where they called it. Anybody who's ever been concussed, I've been there. When he got knocked down, the first thing he did was look at his brother and say, "That was a good one." When you're concussed, you really don't have the brain power to do that. I don't know, man. It was disappointing. Super disappointing. Super disappointing. Kudos to both those boys. Get your money. Get your bag, boys. So I'm not mad at anybody. I think they both made like 90 mil. Get your bag. But I got some questions, right?
Right. Even after the fight, criticism of the matchup continues, with some observers arguing that the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul bout should never have happened in the first place. Critics point out that the size, experience, and skill gap between a former heavyweight world champion and a social media influencer turned boxer was too extreme, making the fight more of a spectacle than a legitimate sporting contest. With an Olympic pedigree and true heavyweight power, it posed serious safety risks, as evidenced by his broken jaw and multiple knockdowns.
Being taken 6 rounds by Jake Paul. We're in the aftermath here. The press conference is going on behind us. We're yet to see Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua out here. Ak, you were ringside, you were around the whole fight. People are complaining that Anthony Joshua may have embarrassed himself in there tonight, letting Jake take him 6 rounds.
It's ridiculous. Anybody that saying that doesn't know anything about boxing. First off, if you see how Jake was moving and clinching the first 3-4 rounds of that fight, you would understand. It doesn't matter how bad you are. If a fighter in front of you is destined to not get hit and not get knocked out, it's almost impossible to knock that guy out. When Jake was okay with exchanging and trying, even he was exhausted, he said, I'm gonna try, that's when AJ was there to land the shots. AJ did what he's supposed to do. Not easy to knock a guy out that's surviving, you know that.
Yeah, I do. I wondered early on whether he didn't have a lot of adrenaline and he was walking Jake down. Jake was making himself small and moving away. And AJ said, you know what, I'm gonna take my time here and marinate you.
Exactly, listen, when a guy that's moving like Jake, that's inexperienced, you're going to gas out. I knew it for after half the first round. If Jake keeps moving like that, he's going to gas out in 2-3 rounds. And I noticed that AJ said, okay, I'm gonna let him run around, right? People are screaming, cut the ring off. Let me let him run around and gas out. Once he gassed out, what happened? He had to stay in front.
Bigger picture, you and I are boxing guys. We go to boxing all the time. The question we perhaps need to ask is, did that entertain the fans tonight? Should we be seeing that again? Is that it now? We've seen that novelty. Should a fight like that between an Olympic champion, a heavyweight world champion, against a relative novice, should that be sanctioned and licensed by a commission? You know, it was a one-off. Jake's a one-off, but we shouldn't be seeing a lot of these events, in my view.
Never again. We should never have that gap of experience,
the mismatch,
skill set should never happen again. I mean, to your point, Jake is an anomaly, right? Like, we can let him get that off. He tried it, and he even landed a couple of shots, but you saw at first, I mean, as soon as he landed first right hand, even he saw, I can't hurt this guy. I'm not gonna.
It was a pebble hitting a tank, is how I've described it.
Joshua addressed the back.
I'm not gonna lie, there was a pebble hit in the tank as well.
Joshua addressed the backlash head-on, admitting that he deserves the criticism following the Jake Paul fight. He acknowledged that fans have high expectations of him as a former heavyweight champion and said he understands why people were disappointed or confused by the matchup. Rather than deflecting blame, he took responsibility, explaining that once you choose to step into the ring, especially in a crossover spectacle, you have to accept the reaction that comes with it. Joshua emphasized that criticism is part of the sport and that his legacy means people will always judge his choices more harshly. His comments struck a reflective tone, suggesting that he's aware the fight blurred the lines between entertainment and competition and that fans are justified in questioning it. What do you think? Was this a real fight or a scripted spectacle? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Maybe against a Javonte Davis, a Ryan Garcia, who knows?
Eddie, I want to follow with you because when this fight was first announced, you had said something to the effect of this would end Jake Paul's career. After what you saw tonight, do you think that Jake should continue to box, or what do you think the future holds for him?
Yeah, look, I really take my hat off to. I mean, we have to see if it is a broken jaw. Those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavyweights. And I know he went down heavy, but you know, he was conscious on the floor. And I thought his game plan, although obviously very negative early on, which it had to be, was smart at times. And there were times where he held his feet and let his hands go. You know, it was a very one-sided fight. It was always going to be a one-sided fight. But you can't give him anything but credit and respect. There's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people who want to criticise people, they're not doing what Jake Paul's done. He just went in with Anthony Joshua and gave it his best shot. Took a lot of punishment and ended the fight eventually on his feet.
Eddie, AJ's won 6 rounds. He kind of dismantled him. He took his time. How do you see it?
Yeah, it was a frustrating 2-3 rounds maybe, because Jake was moving so much, holding, but did well, I thought. I mean, I was impressed with him. I mean, I was more impressed with his toughness, because I think that last shot would have knocked out most heavyweights. I mean, I know
he broke his jaw.
Yeah, I know it knocked him out, but he was not unconscious. You know, I mean, look, he may not come back from it. If he has broken his jaw, it's a big injury to come back from.
There's pictures of him in hospital right now.
Well, listen, you've got to respect him, because he did what many people wouldn't do, which was get in the ring with him. And, you know, he didn't. I know he run and hold, but he also let his hands go at times. And he was in the firing line, and, you know, we got 6 good rounds in the end of actual work.
Is that how you see it in the end?
Yeah, I actually think it's a positive, because, you know, we could have gone in there and got it all over with 45 seconds. He's done an 8-week camp, and now he's done 6 rounds. He's got something to go back and work on with the team.